Well, it's 51 degrees this morning at WCLU at our studios. We've seen some upper 40s in certain parts of the state, so we're right there at that 50 mark across the region. We've got Ray Stajic on duty at the Weather Channel to talk about what the next couple of days are going to be like as we prepare for the weekend. A little cooler than what we normally have at this time of the year.
On a good run now of beautiful weather, high pressure, large and in charge. No rain in the forecast until maybe Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. And that could be some lingering moisture from Irma. We're going to have to see where that area of low pressure goes after it has significant impacts on parts of the southeast. Running sunshine and clear sky through the daytime hours today. Maybe a few clouds and a cool 70, 17 degrees below normal. The cool weather continues tonight, clear 48. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, 76. Saturday, mostly sunny in the mid-70s. On Sunday, more sun than clouds, mid-70s once again. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic, the Weather Channel on WCLU, your home for local.
Thank you, Ray. Let's look at our current conditions. The barometer's at 30.11, humidity at 100% of saturation. The winds are calm, and no precip in the past 24 hours here at the WCLU studios. Irma is already claimed 10 lives as it came through the Lesser Antilles, and right now folks are just sort of battening down the hatch because nothing you can do with the strongest hurricane in history. We'll check in with CBS News in a few minutes to get another update on that. Right now it's 51 degrees in the newsroom. Round one of local news and news director Angela Briggs. Good morning, Angela.
Good morning, Henry. State police are asking for your help to locate Michael R. Weaver. State police say Weaver is a white male, 6'3", with brown hair and brown eyes. He's wanted for numerous outstanding warrants stemming from an investigation in Allen County, including charges of distribution of matter portraying a sex performance by a minor, possessing or viewing matter portraying a sex performance by a minor, and persistent felony offender. For any information regarding the whereabouts of Mr. Weaver, you're asked to contact State Police 270-782-2010. To see his photo, you can certainly go online to WCLUradio.com. And a loud noise complaint leads to 2 drug arrests. Cave City Police Chief Terrell Riley arrested 36-year-old William Jason Doyle of Cave City and 32-year-old Jeremy Marr of Scottsville Wednesday morning. Chief Riley had received a loud noise complaint that the noise was coming from a garage on Grinstead Mill Road. After making contact with the owner and a brief investigation, Doyle was arrested, charged with possession of methamphetamine and drug paraphernalia. Marr was also arrested, charged with possession of meth and drug paraphernalia, along with possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. Both were lodged in the Barron County Detention Center. Chief Riley was assisted at the scene by Cave City officer Joey Judd. A recent session of the Barron County Grand Jury has returned several indictments. 37-year-old Jason Polo Eugene Slater of Glasgow was indicted on 9 separate counts: trafficking in a controlled substance, possession of a controlled substance, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, possession of drug paraphernalia, trafficking in marijuana, possession of a controlled substance, 3rd degree, possession of marijuana, disorderly conduct, and possession of illegal possession of a legend drug. Slater was allowed to remain on a current bond. 28-year-old Parker Curtis Pettit of Tompkinsville was indicted on 1 count of possession of a controlled substance. Dwight David Wright, age 40, of Canmer, was indicted on 3 counts: persistent felony offender, careless driving, and trafficking in synthetic drugs. Cody K. Spencer, age 28, of Glasgow, was indicted on 3 counts: burglary 3rd, possession of burglar's tools, and theft by unlawful taking. Sergeant Justin Kirkpatrick with the Glasgow Police Department testified in the case. And 41-year-old Jason David Fields of Glasgow was indicted on 5 counts: burglary 2nd, theft by unlawful taking 2 counts, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, and persistent felony offender. Bail was set at $5,000 cash or approved surety. Captain Jennifer Arbogast with Glasgow Police Department testified. And here is the Chamber's Executive Vice President Ernie Myers.
Well, this morning, the Glasgow-Barron County Chamber of Commerce has a ribbon cutting celebrating a new business in Glasgow. The ribbon cutting is going to be held at 131B North Public Square, celebrating the new business, Visibly You. If you don't know who that is, that's Erica Spillman, who is opening up her marketing company right there on North Public Square in Glasgow. Now, 131B is directly above Brian Pack's law office. The entrance to that is a doorway between Brian's office, the pawn shop. We hope you all can make it out this morning, 10:30 a.m. to celebrate ribbon cutting at Visibly You, 131B North Public Square. That's what's going on today at the Glasgow-Barron County Chamber of Commerce, where we're working together building a better community.
It's 6:13 a.m., 51 degrees.
BR Tire. We're always on call and we answer the call. We know that's what keeps our loyal customers coming back season after season, year after year. With so many vying for your business, improving our service is not just a good practice, it's a necessity. From our easy-to-navigate website to our easy-to-deal-with service department, we work hard to make it easy for you to choose us. No one keeps you rolling like BR Tire on Lovers Lane in Bowling Green and West Main Street in Glasgow.
You love all-day breakfast.
I love all-day breakfast.
But you didn't love that you couldn't get all your favorites all day. But now you love that you can get more all day, like
McGriddles.
So you'll have to find something else to not love, like that itch you can't scratch. Or when people use speakerphone in public.
Seriously, you can't tell a soul.
I promise I won't tell anyone.
For real, okay?
Or accidentally watching episode 4 before you've seen episode 3.
When did DeAndre become an alien?
Get more choices you love, now with all-day breakfast.
Glasgow Prescription Center is the culmination of my husband's professional career. When he took over GPC, he didn't want to be just good. He'd already done that. He wanted to be great. And I think his patients would agree that he's done just that. Could he get by with a smaller staff? Sure. The gift shop, the flower shop, delivery people, a brand new facility, none of those things are required to have a pharmacy, but that's why it's not just a good pharmacy, it's a great one. I'm really excited to see what Robert is going to do next because I know he's going to put his heart into it.
At Fire Pit Spirits, our #1 priority is responsibility. Number 2 and number 3 are our great service and our huge selection. So if you do drink alcohol, we want you to do so responsibly. Get the service you deserve in our store or in our convenient drive-thru window. You can even call ahead at 678-BEER and we'll have it ready for you. We built our store from the ground up to ensure the largest selection and variety. But if we don't have what you're looking for, let us know. We appreciate your business here at Fire Pit Spirits in Glasgow.
FDIC.
A former employee of the Hart County Clerk's Office has now been indicted. According to Hart County Sheriff Boston Hensley, Chelsea Trulock, age 28 of Munfordville, was arrested on a Hart County grand jury indictment warrant for theft by unlawful taking over $10,000 and abuse of a public trust over $10,000. After an internal audit, Clerk Lisa Hensley Sanders discovered thefts of cash from multiple customers by former employee Chelsea Trulock. Sanders reported this to the Hart County Sheriff's Office. Trulock was arrested by Sheriff Boston Hensley and lodged in the Hart County Jail. Coming up tomorrow, the Glasgow Career Center is involved in a special opportunity at the Boys and Girls Club. Here's the Career Center's Sonia Furrow. We'll have that coming up in just a few minutes. After the close of a combative presidential election, a polarized America has battled over everything from health care to border walls to monuments. The newly elected chair of the grassroots organization Kentuckians for the Commonwealth, Meta Mendel Reyes, says the divisive atmosphere in the state and nation has energized a lot of community activism.
It's a time when people at the grassroots need to recover their voices, and organizing is one way to do that. It's clearly developed in response to the historical moment that we're in, but I think it has the potential for incredible staying power.
To facilitate increased involvement, KFTC is launching the Organizing Academy. It's a training over 6 months for those interested in grassroots leadership. Applications for the Academy are being accepted now through October 13th, and the training starts in January. Mendel Reyes says while activism such as the Women's March and protest against state and federal policies certainly grab headlines, sustaining momentum is the key to building grassroots power.
I would say that the large crowds are productive in the moment, but to build power over the long term, the kind of power that governments will have to respond to, you need to do organizing.
She says KFTC is committed to training more Kentuckians on how to be leaders of nonviolent activism and the ultimate goal of growing the grassroots movement in the state.
How can they learn to be active in the most effective possible ways? Organizing at its key is simply about helping people learn about and undertake collective action.
She says organizing needs to be inclusive of all voices because these days too much political and community action is based on division. For more information, you can go online to www.kftc.org. With WCLU Local News, I'm Angela Briggs. It's 6:18 a.m., 51 degrees.
Mom, are we at Parish Carpet Store yet? Wow! Boring. Wow! Hey, let's go to the warehouse. Okay. Wow, look how tall that carpet is. Look how soft the carpet is.
Hey, boys, y'all come back to Parish Carpet, okay?
Okay.
All right.
I'm sure glad we came to Parish Carpet.
It's been another great week to be a Scotty. The PSAT will be giving on October 11th. Freshmen, sophomores, and juniors are encouraged to sign up. Registration will be open until September 20th, and the cost is $16. Miss Martin will be in the cafeteria each morning before school to register those wishing to participate. Applications for the 2017-2018 Student Ambassadors are now available. The application must be completely finished, including a letter of recommendation from a teacher. To begin the interview process, pick up an application from Miss Martin, Miss Bunch, or Mr. Smith. Completed applications are due no later than Friday, September 15th. Any DECA member interested in attending the Frankfurt workshop needs to see Mr. Gibson for paperwork. The payment and forms are due this Friday morning by 8 o'clock. Any student interested in joining Pep Club or Beta Club can pick up an application from Ms. Bowles. Completed applications and fees are due on Friday, September 8th. In sports news, last Thursday, the boys soccer team defeated Barron County 2-0. On Tuesday, they defeated Franklin Simpson 6-2. Way to go, Scotties. And congratulations to the football team on their 41-3 victory over Fort Campbell. The Scotties will visit Allen County this Friday night with kickoff starting at 7. Good luck, Scotties. This has been McKay Bowles for this week's Scotty Report. Shine on, Scotties, and stay true to the blue.
From the Kentucky News Network, I'm Ed Huckleberry. A watchdog group asked Kentucky's Attorney General to rule whether the State House of Representatives broke the law by holding a private meeting to discuss funding for the state's pension system.
The Bluegrass Institute Center for Open Governments filed an open meetings complaint in response to House members holding a closed to the public meeting last week to discuss the state-funded analysis of the public retirement system. An attorney for House Speaker Jeff Hoover says the meeting didn't break the law because it was officially a meeting of the House Republican caucus with the Democratic caucus as invited guests. Hoover said it was necessary to close the meeting to prevent political grandstanding. Bluegrass Institute CEO Jim Waters said Hoover's reasoning is totally unacceptable. I'm Will Clark.
Retirements from one of Kentucky's largest public pension systems jumped 37% in September as lawmakers consider potentially dramatic changes to prevent insolvency. The Kentucky retirement system says 746 people retired as of September 1st, compared with 543 retirements just 1 year ago. The retirements included state workers, police officers, firefighters, and other local government workers. The operator of Kentucky's last abortion clinic has testified that at trial which could determine whether his facility stays open. Dr. Ernest Marshall opened the EMW's Women's Surgical Center in the 1980s. He testified Wednesday that his clinic is safe and offers quality care. 167 World War II, Korean War, and Vietnam War veterans from Kentucky traveled to Washington Wednesday as part of the Honor Flight program. William Perry is a 91-year-old World War II vet.
Wonderful. Can't believe it. See all these guys my age and older.
They also visited Arlington National Cemetery in Washington. I'm Ed Huckleberry.
This is the Kentucky News Network.
At PBI Bank, we pride ourselves on providing great customer service with a hometown feel. We invite you to come in and meet our friendly staff who can help you apply for a mortgage, apply for an ag loan, open an account, or help with any other banking service. Trust PBI Bank to be your banking partner for personal or business accounts. Come visit or call us today. We are a Kentucky-based community bank serving the Commonwealth for more than a century. Stop in or visit online at pbibank.com to learn more about what we can offer you.
TJ Regional Health offers a vast array of medical services in our community. The TJ Health Pavilion is home to over 35 family and specialty physicians, outpatient services center, the TJ Urgent Care, and the TJ Pavilion Pharmacy. The TJ Health Cave City Clinic is a walk-in medical care facility providing care 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Stop by and visit one of our locations today.
South Central Kentucky Monuments in Glasgow wants you to know that if you've recently lost a loved one or if you're thinking about a pre-need monument, they're here to make the process as stress-free as possible. With plenty of examples and a multitude of custom options, South Central Kentucky Monuments has the ability to offer you exactly what you want or help steer you in the right direction based on your preferences. Let my friends David, Jerry, and Adam Jesse provide the service and craftsmanship you deserve. To learn more, visit southcentralkymonuments.com.
Local news time for WCLU is 6:23. We have 51 degrees this morning. As we get our start, we'll check in with Ray Staging in just a couple of minutes and see how the weather is shaping up for the rest of the week. In area funeral announcements this hour, Melma Mary Lundy Jones, age 86, of Louisville, formerly of Smiths Grove, died Monday. She was the daughter of the late Louis Banyan and Eunice Huffman Lundy, and wife of the late Guy Jones. Melma was a rural mail carrier for the U.S. Postal Service, a member of the Smiths Grove Baptist Church, Rural Letter Carriers Association, and the Eastern Star. Her survivors include her daughter, Teresa Baker, two sons, Guy Lewis Jones and Douglas Keith Jones, Mima to 10 grandchildren, Amy Dones, Teresa K. Jones, Guy Lundy Jones, Justin Jones, Laura Urino, Jennifer Singleton, Grace Lewis, Aaron Jones, Rachel Eden, and Jared Baker. 15 great-grandchildren, a brother, James Buddy Lundy, and several nieces and nephews who knew her as Aunt Tootsie. Services for Melma Mary Lundy Jones will be Friday morning at 11 o'clock at the Hardy & Son Bowling Green Chapel, burial in the Pleasant Grove Cemetery. Visitation from 3 until 8 p.m. tonight. Janice Arbazella Riddle, age 78, of Glasgow, died Saturday at her residence. She was born in Bon Air, the daughter of the late Harry Willis Waller and Thelma Rich Waller. She was a farmer, a homemaker, and a member of the Cedar Grove Baptist Church. Survivors include a sister, Barbara J. Lane, nieces and nephew, Janice Kane of Dallas, Texas, and Bobby Eugene Carver of Jacksonville, Florida, and Sherry Joanna of Lexington, a cousin, Naomi Kinslow of Glasgow, several other nieces and nephews, Pat Delk, who is a dear friend and neighbor. Graveside services for Janice Arbazella Riddle will be at 2 o'clock this afternoon at the Cedar Grove Cemetery. Visitation begins at 10 o'clock this morning at the A.F. Crow & Son Funeral Home. Robert Joseph Humphrey, age 89, of Glasgow, died Wednesday at Hospice House of Southern Kentucky. He was a painter and of the Baptist faith and is survived by his wife, Beverly Joan Dyer Humphrey. 12 children, Linda Allen, Janetta Lapicola, Mike Humphrey, Richard Humphrey, Cindy Bailey, Robert D. Humphrey, Christina Childress, Roger Humphrey, Kathy Guerin, Russell Humphrey, Alice Ennis, and Sandy Wilson. Funeral services for Robert Joseph Humphrey will be held at 2 o'clock on Friday at the Hatcher and Sadler Funeral Home, with burial to be in the Caney Fork Cemetery at Etoile. Visitation begins at 9 o'clock Friday morning. George V. Balch, age 72, of Park City and Glasgow, died Monday in Franklin, Tennessee. He enjoyed studying history and was an avid UK basketball fan. He was a member of the Glasgow Cumberland Presbyterian Church. Survivors include 3 cousins, Barbara Duval of Hendersonville, Sarah McGinley of Franklin, Tennessee, and Howard Balch of Dublin, Ohio. Graveside services for George V. Balch will be at 2 o'clock Sunday at the Evergreen Cemetery in Park City. Visitation from 1 until 2 on Sunday at the Patton Funeral Home's Park City Chapel. Memorial contributions may be made through the Cerebral Palsy Foundation. Raymond Lewis Davis, Jr., age 49, of Louisville, died Saturday. He was a drywaller and a member of the Emmanuel Baptist Church. A member of the Emmanuel Assembly of God. He was the son of Raymond Lawson Davis, Sr. of Brownsville and the late Susan M. Stephen Davis. In addition to his father, he is survived by a son, Michael Davis, and special friend Sherry Browning of Louisville. Graveside service for Raymond Lewis Davis, Jr. will be at 1 o'clock Friday at the Union Light Cemetery. Visitation begins at 10:30 tomorrow morning at Grayville Funeral Home. Melvin Garnett Harvey, age 82, of Glasgow, died Tuesday at Hospice House of Bowling Green. Garnett was a former employee of Central Soya in Park City and Greenleaf Nursery in Glasgow. More recently, he was self-employed in landscaping. He is a U.S. Army veteran of the Korean War and a member of the Glasgow Baptist Church. Survivors include his wife, Ruth Williams Harvey, a son, Kenny Harvey, and wife, Mary of Glasgow, and several nieces and nephews, including 2 special nieces, Carolyn Wilburn and Linda Bird Pierce. Service for Melvin Garnett Harvey will be at 11 o'clock Friday at A.F. Crow & Son Funeral Home. Burial is to be in the Glasgow Municipal Cemetery. Visitation begins today at 2 p.m. James Richard Wheeler, age 85, of Lafayette, Tennessee, formerly of Monroe County, died Tuesday. He was a retired construction worker, farmer, U.S. Army veteran, a Baptist minister, and a member of the Liberty United General Baptist Church. He is survived by his wife, Barbara Witcher Wheeler, 2 sons, Donnie Wheeler and Ronnie Wheeler, and wife, Christy, all of Lafayette. 1 daughter, Victoria Masters, and husband, Michael, of Tampa, Florida. 1 brother, Jerry Wheeler of Louisville. 2 sisters, Dixie Doyle, Nina Holt, both of Indiana. Several grandchildren and great-grandchildren, and 1 great-great-grandchild. Service for James Richard Wheeler will be Friday at 2 at the Strodes Gometia Chapel. Burial to be in the New Liberty Cemetery. Military rites performed by DAV Chapter 20 of Glasgow. Visitation begins today at 2 p.m. Memorial suggested to the Hope Lodge in Nashville. Paul Everett Shipley, age 87, of Cumberland County, died Sunday at his home. He is survived by his wife, Judith Shipley, his children, Loretta Light, Cynthia Harper, Teresa Mainers, Deanna New, James Shipley, and Thomas Shipley. Stepsons Travis Gasper, Michael Gasper, stepdaughter Julie Hedger, and several grandchildren and great-grandchildren. Service for Paul Everett Shipley will be today at 1 o'clock in Indianapolis. Contributions can be made to the Burkesville Baptist Youth Ministries in care of the Burkesville Baptist Church. Norris New Funeral Home is in charge of the arrangements. Carrie Beth Griever, age 18, of Glasgow, died Tuesday at her residence. She was born in Glasgow, the daughter of Jimmy and Lisa Trivett Griever. She was a homeschool student and was a senior at Barron County School System. She was a member of the Fairview Missionary Baptist Church. Survivors include her father and mother, Jimmy and Lisa Trivett Griever, her twin sister, Hannah Griever, 2 brothers, Cody Griever and Austin Griever, all of Glasgow. Maternal grandmother, Irene Gentry Trivett of Mount Hermon, 2 nieces, Emma and Paisley Griever, and a nephew, Hunter Griever, all of Glasgow. Funeral services for Carrie Beth Griever will be Friday at 2 at A.F. Crow & Son Funeral Home. Burial in the Poplar Log Cemetery. Visitation begins today at 3 p.m. Barbara Massey, age 76, of Munfordville, died Monday at the Medical Center of Bowling Green. She was a substitute teacher and a member of the Mount Vernon Baptist Church, where she served on the usher board. She is survived by 3 daughters, Gail Ingram of Columbia, Jennifer Greer of Louisville, and Tasha Johnson of Shepherdsville. 1 son, Michael Dixon of Glasgow. Stepfather, Ray Stewart, Jr. of Bonnieville. 12 grandchildren, 16 great-grandchildren. Service for Barbara Massey will be at 1 o'clock Friday at Mount Vernon Baptist Church. Burial to follow in the Woodsonville Memorial Gardens. Visitation begins at 5 p.m. today at the Mount Vernon Baptist Church. The Hayes, Watts, and Purcell Funeral Home is in charge of those arrangements. Carlos Delton Graham, age 88, of Greenfield, Indiana, died Sunday. He found joy in spending time with family, going to the horse track, piddling around the garage, and keeping up with UK athletics. Carlos is survived by his loving wife of 55 years, Mary Grace Blinko Graham, sons Sam, Pat, David, and Kevin, daughters Kay Graham Bright, Faye Lanham, and Anna Davenport, and several grandchildren. Visitation for Carlos Delton Graham will be from 11 until 1 Friday at Norris New Funeral Home. Burial to follow at 1:30 at the Bow Schoolhouse Cemetery in Cumberland County. Graveside service for Allie Seals, age 84, of Louisville, will be at 1 o'clock Monday at the Caney Fork Cemetery with A.F. Crow and Son Funeral Home in charge. Service for Betty F. Harden, age 77, of Brownsville, will be at 11 o'clock Saturday at the Patton Funeral Home's Brownsville Chapel. Interment to be in the new home cemetery. Visitation begins today at 5 p.m. Memorial visitation for Randall Ray Harper, age 60, of Glasgow, will be today at 4 p.m. until 8 p.m. at the A.F. Crow and Son Funeral Home. Mr. Harper chose cremation. Service for L.T. Sneed, age 78, will be today at 11 o'clock at the Harwood and Strode Funeral Home in Scottsville. Burial in the Allen County Memorial Gardens. Service for Joyce Meredith, age 70, of Mammoth Cave, will be held today at 11 o'clock at the Patton Funeral Home, with interment to be in the Hill Grove Cemetery. Services for Wayne Stinson, age 79, of Scottsville, will be today at 11 o'clock at the Goad Funeral Home, with burial to be in the Allen County Memorial Gardens. Obituary information is available 24 hours a day, free, at WCLUradio.com. No login is necessary.
Glasgow Prescription Center is the culmination of my husband's professional career. When he took over GPC, he didn't want to be just good. He'd already done that. He wanted to be great. And I think his patients would agree that he's done just that. Could he get by with a smaller staff? Sure. The gift shop, the flower shop, delivery people, a brand new facility, none of those things are required to have a pharmacy, but that's why it's not just a good pharmacy, it's a great one. I'm really excited to see what Robert is going to do next because I know he's going to put his heart into it.
See American television icon Ed Asner live September 15th in A Man and His Prostate at the Plaza Theater. Ed Asner offers a frank and very funny take on men's health in A Man and His Prostate, September 15th. For tickets, visit historicplaza.com or call 270-361-2101.
Ordered. It's 6:35 WCLU and 51 degrees. Let's turn to local sports. WKU Hilltopper basketball legend Jim McDaniels, one of the finest players to ever represent the historic program, passed away last night in Bowling Green. He was 69 years of age. McDaniels, a 7-foot center from Scottsville, finished his WKU career with 2,238 points, which ties for the all-time program record. McDaniels, who ranks first in WKU history in career field goals at 935, career scoring average at 27.6 points per game, and double-doubles at 74, second in rebounding average with 13.1 per game. Quote, McDaniels was a legendary, iconic figure in the annals of Western Kentucky basketball, according to WKU Athletics Director Todd Stewart. He said his Hall of Fame accomplishments resulted in the most successful period in our program's rich history and favorably impacted at the Hilltopper Nation and college basketball fans throughout the nation. Now, arrangements for Jim McDaniel are incomplete at this hour. And that's a check of local sports.
Personal service is what it's all about at Bailey Gibson. From the showroom to the service bay, we offer the most up-to-date service and sales available. If you know Dad, you know he's not too keen on high-tech gadgets. His flip phone is about as techy as he gets. Because of Dad's down-to-earth approach in business, Bailey Gibson customers know they can depend on us for the best price on their newer used vehicle. Stop by or give us a call and find out what true personal service is all about.
Come on, give my dandy a call.
Well, I love it.
I know, right? I saw it and I was just like, oh, I have to have it.
Is it suede?
Suede. Love suede.
State Farm knows that for every one of those moments, there's one of these.
Well, I love it. I know, right? I saw it and I was like, have to have it. Is it suede? It's suede. I love suede.
That's why we're there with renter's insurance when things go wrong, but also here with a rewards credit card to help life go right. State Farm.
Talk to State Farm agent Mike Bryant in Glasgow today.
Lesenberry Do-It Center is Glasgow's only locally owned hardware store, and that means a lot to me. Lesenberry's has been in business for over 100 years.
And hoping and praying for the safety of the folks who are going to be involved in the path of Irma. In the meantime, it's going to be an enjoyable weather pattern here in south central Kentucky. Right, Ray?
We should stay under the influence of high pressure, and with high pressure in, sun will be out, temperatures will be up. Eventually, getting back to maybe the mid-70s. The average is still 87 for this time of year. A little crispy out there this morning. The sky's clear. Lots of 4s for the first number on the car thermometer. Go through the day with lots of sunshine around 70 degrees. Tonight, clear 48. Tomorrow, sunshine 76. Saturday, mostly sunny in the mid-70s. And on Sunday, more sun than clouds with highs in the mid-70s. Maybe sometime next week, some leftover moisture from Irma. We'll have to wait and see on the exact track of that storm after it goes inland. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic, a Weather Channel on WCLU, your home for local.
Thank you, Ray. We're at 51 degrees this morning at WCLU. Let's look at the other instrumentation. It's really calm. I'll just tell you that right now. The barometer is at 30.11, humidity at 100%. Winds are calm, no precip in the past 24 hours. 6:39.
Lesenberry Do-It Center is Glasgow's only locally owned hardware store, and that means a lot to me. Lesenberry's has been in business for over 100 years. I walk in the store, they know who I am, and I get the help that I need. For me, Lesenberry's is the easiest place for me to shop, simply because it's a local family-owned business, and I feel comfortable when I'm there. And I'm glad there's still a place like that in Glasgow I can go to.
The Glasgow EPB is on Facebook and Twitter. Be the first to know when the EPB makes improvements such as new channels or new services. Wondering what's going on during an outage? The EPB provides constantly updated information that you can receive via Twitter on your cell phone. Plus, learn great new tips to lower your bill. On Facebook, just search for Glasgow Electric Plant Board and click the like button at the top right. On Twitter, search for the Glasgow EPB, then follow us and have updates linked to your cell phone. The Glasgow EPB, bringing you the future fast.
That's right. Ralphie's Fun Center sponsors the Birthday Club here on WCLU. We love to talk about folks and their birthdays. And we've got stuff to talk about here today for sure on this 7th day of September. For example, Annie Hamilton Shirley is on the birthday list. We have Dr. Spencer Witcher, Christopher Whitfield. It is Shanda Marr's birthday today. Shanda, we understand, is 42. Mr. Hoot Gibson over in Park City, Kentucky, having a big birthday today, too. We've got Candace Ferreira. We understand Candace is sweet 16 today. Congratulations, Candace. We have anniversaries for Bobby and Inez McCandless, John and Jackie Taylor, and we have J.B. and Emily Logston. They are celebrating their 54th wedding anniversary today. How about that? 651-9149, 800-956-1023. Online here from WCLUradio.com. And don't forget, we're going to be giving away a birthday cake from Dairy Queen today, as well as giving away a rose from Greer's Florist. So we got lots to do. Let's get ready to roll. We got archives straight ahead here this morning.
I'm here to announce the launch of McDonald's new signature sriracha sandwich, and they decided to turn it up. It's topped with crispy onions, fresh baby spinach, and kale. Onions and baby greens. That's not all. They decided to turn it up even more. They created an exclusive sriracha mac sauce with just the right kick of spice. Yeah, but it's here only for a limited time. The McDonald's signature sriracha sandwich. Where are you going?
BR Tire. We're always on call
and we answer the call. We know that's what keeps our loyal customers coming back season after season, year after year. With so many vying for your business, improving our service is not just a good practice, it's a necessity. From our easy-to-navigate website to our easy-to-deal-with service department, we work hard to make it easy for you to choose us. No one keeps you rolling like BR Tire on Lovers Lane in Bowling Green and West Main Street in Glasgow.
At Fire Pit Spirits, our #1 priority is responsibility. Number 2 and number 3 are our great service and our huge selection. So if you do drink alcohol, we want you to do so responsibly. Get the service you deserve in our store or in our convenient drive-thru window. You can even call ahead at 678-BEER and we'll have it ready for you. We built our store from the ground up to ensure the largest selection and variety. But if we don't have what you're looking for, let us know. We appreciate your business here at Fire Pit Spirits in Glasgow.
Yes, it's time to go down memory lane, and I'm just jotting down some more birthdays here that I'll tell you about in a couple of minutes, but we got to stay on track and get down memory lane as the archives today take us back 100 years. We learn about our past, we plan for the future, and we're getting into this time of the year where we can actually meet some of our past with some special folks. We're going to have special guests stopping by. Some of the people that you're going to meet at the Harvest of History, not this weekend, but next weekend. So be sure and be tuned in for the opportunity to meet some very special historical people coming up here over the next several days at WCLU. We'll do the archives after we hear from the sponsor at Joseph A. Wade.
15,000 inventory items, custom brake hoses while you wait, cylinder repair. Is there anything Joseph A. Wade can't do? Well, one thing's for sure, Joseph A. Wade Incorporated serves a large community of people who believe there's no job they can't do, and that's the same attitude Joseph A. Wade has in their line of work. So for the smallest screws, Allen wrenches, or drill bits, or even a 5-stage hydraulic cylinder measuring 25 feet in length, Joseph A. Wade's motto? No problem. Joseph A. Wade Incorporated, 311 Industrial Drive, Glasgow.
Okay, you ready to roll back?
I'm ready to take this thing back 100 years after I give you one more anniversary.
Okay, let me get pencil and paper over here.
Okay.
Okay.
JB and Emily Logston.
Yeah.
Celebrating 54 years.
All right. Let me tell you that Brenda Mills has a birthday today. And let me tell you that Julius Shirley is 21 today.
There you go.
So we got all that. 100 years ago. Let's look at our history.
Let's take this thing back 100 years.
This was a writer in the Glasgow Times in 1917. Interesting little, really it's just kind of an editorial. A good editorial. During a short stay at Cave City recently, I ascertained that the business of the town was on the upward grade. The hotels were crowded to overflowing with tourists en route to Mammoth Cave. One hotel accommodated 78 in one night. That's some visitors there in Horse Cave.
Seriously?
Yeah. 78 in one night at the hotel. I hope that it wasn't too overcrowded. Also, let's see here, the same writer is saying that commercial travelers congregate there in considerable numbers. Besides, the streets are being macadamized beautifully.
They're being what?
They're being macadamized. I meant to look that word up. Macadamized.
I just hit the mic. I'll Google it.
Yeah, check out macadamized. But you know what? Before you Google that,
okay.
I told you we're going to have some cool folks dropping by.
Right.
Well, guess what?
What?
We have cool folks who are dropping by this morning.
Okay.
I am going to be able to pick up the telephone here and go back in time, and I want to make sure that we're connected here. Is this Mr. George Duff speaking?
Well, hello, Mr. Royce. How are you?
I'm all right. George T. Duff.
That's correct. George Thomas.
George Thomas. I was going to ask you what the T stood for there.
Sir.
So anyway, we understand from the archivists who do the digging here and getting ready for the Harvest of History that you are a prominent attorney who practiced law in Glasgow for 38 years. Is that right?
Well, I've been at it for 38 years,
Okay.
and I think practice is probably the correct term. I never have gotten it down just exactly right.
Yeah. Well, that's why we keep practicing there, Mr. Duff.
That's correct. That's correct. Although I serve presently as Barron County Circuit Judge.
Okay, I got you. Well, it's, my notes here say that you're one of the best-known attorneys in southern Kentucky. Sort of a famous barrister here in, I guess in from 1850 to 1914.
That's correct, sir. And I began my practice with Mr. Bowles, and we were in a practice by the name of Bowles and Duff.
Yeah.
And presently, I'm in a practice with Mr. Hutchison.
Okay, so you just kind of moved around a little bit, right?
That's correct. And by the way, that term macadamized, that's the revolutionary term for the new paving that they're doing with gravel and asphalt.
Okay, well, see, you know all about that, don't you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Kind of a newfangled thing there, isn't it?
Out on Green Street, right in front of my house, they have just macadamized that road.
Yeah, I like that word there, Mr. Duff, macadamized. It sounds official.
It's a good word. It's an ancient word, and it's one that is very descriptive.
I'm really looking forward to meeting you next weekend at the Harvest of History, and I'll tell you why. If for no other reason than the fact that you are married to the niece of a famous Glaswegian, Governor Leslie.
That's correct. That's correct. Governor Preston Leslie is I suppose you would say, uncle-in-law.
Uncle-in-law. That sounds good.
And he's quite a fellow. He was governor of Kentucky and then moved out to Helena, Montana, and is presently the governor of the territory of Montana.
And probably you've been in the family long enough to have learned a few things about Governor Leslie.
Well, a few anecdotes, and I tell you what, I better keep them under my head, or I might get in in-law trouble.
Yeah, let's don't do that. Because George, we want you to be here next weekend so everybody can meet you in the Harvest of History at the South Central Kentucky Cultural Center. And I really appreciate you taking the time to call in and kind of give us a little bit of a preview of some of the folks that we're going to be meeting this coming next weekend.
Indeed, Mr. Royce, it is my pleasure. I appreciate the opportunity.
And we look forward to shaking your hand, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's Mr. George T. Duff, George Thomas Duff, who is going to be coming back and visiting next weekend for the Harvest of History at the Cultural Center. See, you never know what kind of exciting things you're going to be learning on this program, Angela.
I'm sorry. Wes had me distracted showing me things on that laptop.
Oh, okay. I got you. Well, we're gonna go from being distracted. We're focusing back now. Okay?
There we go.
So we got macadamized. Actually, it was pretty neat. Mr. George T. Duff defined macadamized for us because during his time as attorney, they were beginning that process of paving the streets, or better known as, back then, macadamizing the street.
There you go.
Sounds
pretty fancy.
All right. Now, let's move up here to the next thing we want to talk about today, which is 1927. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
It was 1927 that it was announced that there was going to be a singing convention at Morrison Park on September the 11th. The forenoon will be spent in the community singing, and in the afternoon there will be rendered some good solos, duets, and quartets. Parties who are willing to favor us with special songs, quartets, solos, duets, etc., will please report to us by noon. come and bring your songbooks and help us enjoy the day. I'm going to bet that was a big-time activity, festival out there at Morrison Park.
I bet it was.
With the singing. Don't you? I really love the way that they refer to that. The forenoon is going to do one thing, and the afternoon we're going to do another. Forget the morning.
There you go. Mix it up a little bit.
It just has a bad sound to it.
Yeah.
All right, 1937. Here's history in the archives. It's another snippet from the want ads of 1937.
Okay.
Peach seed wanted. During the month of September, we will pay 1 cent per pound for peach seed delivered to our store.
What?
That's right.
That's my goodness.
It's Malone's Cash Store in the Farmers Union old stand.
A penny per pound?
That's right. I'm thinking, you know how light peach seeds are?
No joke.
What are you going to put a pound of peach seed in?
Yeah, I'm not.
It's going to be a big container, I'll say that.
Seriously. A penny.
That's right. And so, but anyway, hey, it's better than throwing a penny down the trash.
Well, I mean, I'd like to see
over a year and a half time.
I'd like to see a follow-up story. How many pounds did they actually get?
That's right. But anyway, it was at Malone's. Malone's Cash Store.
Yeah, you ain't getting much cash.
1937. Okay, 1947. This is kind of a neat story here that was reported in the Glasgow Republican, 1947, from Edmonton, Kentucky. The story reads as follows. A small son of Mrs. Isabel Sandage suffered the most unfortunate accident on record one day last week when he fell out of a hammock and broke his leg.
Oh, wow. How far did he fall?
At his own birthday party.
That's not fun.
See there? That's how the writer said the most unfortunate accident on record one day last week. How unfortunate is it to break your leg at your own birthday party?
I mean, falling out of a hammock.
Falling out of a hammock, it's like he must have been so tired he had to stop a minute.
Must have been a wild party.
It must have been. That was 19 and it says here it's a small son. We don't know which birthday party it was, but
I was a small son. Okay.
Yeah,
he probably jumped out of it.
But it's not like not like a late teens or something. It sounds much smaller. All right, this day in 1957, Angela, the Kentucky Rural Electric Co-op Beauty Crown will remain in Barron County for another year.
Well, yeah, well.
The victory of brunette, freckle-faced Annette Harlow, the daughter of Mr. and Mrs. C.P. Harlow, and the 1957 graduate of Temple Hill High School, when she emerged the winner before a crowd of 4,000 at the Kentucky State Fair on Tuesday afternoon. How about that?
It's a big crowd.
A big crowd, 4,000, and making the home folks all proud. Miss Annette Harlow, we know her today as Miss Annette Simmons.
Bringing it back to Barron County.
That's right. And, how intimidating is a crowd of 4,000 people?
I'd say pretty intimidating.
All of them looking at you.
Yeah, no joke.
And your beauty.
There you go. And picking it all apart.
Woo. But anyway, she's a really nice lady, and that's 1957. 1967. The Barron County War Mothers will meet Monday at the home of Mrs. Mark Bertram on Cleveland Avenue. The program is going to be given by Mrs. James Norris Gray, who will show some slides. All right?
Mm-hmm.
So the War Mothers still meeting there in 1967. And I'm sure they had lots to talk about. Here's a little celebrity for you from 1977. This is Congressman Tim Lee Carter. He was surprised with a birthday party at Barron River Lodge last week.
Mm-hmm.
His cake was baked in the shape of the nation's capital.
Well,
that took a little talent there,
And Henry, I just got a message in here. We now have a new contest here at the station.
Okay, what is it?
Okay, so Wes just sent me a message. Said, see if anyone wants to bring some bacon, egg, and cheese biscuits and hash browns. He says he's starving, and he'll give the first person to come here with breakfast a free T-shirt.
All right.
He wants extra bacon.
He's starving, huh?
Folks, you could probably get more than a T-shirt out of him.
That's right. Dangle it out the front door or something.
I got your extra bacon out here.
Here we go to 1987. Speaking of good food.
Yeah, folks, we're serious.
This is 1987. This was the day that the annual Post B TPA family picnic was held. with longtime chef Ernest Brody barbecuing the chickens.
There you go.
Doesn't that sound good?
It does sound
Walk
good.
up to a big grill with about 200 chickens barbecuing on there, and all the festivities of the TPA post-B picnic.
I grilled some wings over the weekend.
They always did that TPA picnic upright. In 1987 it was.
Gotta love barbecue chicken.
No question about it. 1997, this was a big day. Actually, it's hard to believe. It's 20 years ago, this was the day.
2 decades.
A ribbon cutting was held for Paul's Lawn and Turf.
20 years ago?
At 515 Industrial Drive. Let's see. 20 years ago. Chad wasn't very old.
Mm-mm.
And, he was just kind of learning the ropes, I guess. And so that kind of left Paul and Paulette to get the job done, and they still do every day to this day.
There you go, every day.
Paul's Lawn and Turf. And 10 years ago, this was the day, and I remember this well because this was a internationally renowned group of musicians that were coming here to off the season promote the Highland Games.
Mm-hmm.
The Tannahill Weavers returned to Glasgow to perform at the Plaza Theatre on September the 22nd. That is a big name in Celtic circles.
Definitely.
And that certainly brought even another bit of credibility to the Glasgow Highland Games when the Tannahill Weavers came to here.
Yes, they did.
All right. It's the archives. It's history as it happens, I guess.
There you go.
Or as it seems to happen. Sometimes we don't understand it till after it happens.
And sometimes it makes Wes want bacon.
That's right. So you might just get barbecue chicken.
My wings were fire.
Yeah.
They were so good. That's what Zach said. They were fire. I'm assuming that's good.
Well, that's what we...
He said, those are fire. He told me that my wing game was strong.
Yeah, well...
It is.
Break out a sweat.
There we go.
That's the archives. Thanks to Joseph A. Wade Industrial Hardware Services. And thanks to everybody who lets us enjoy sharing history. 6:59, we got to talk about the weather forecast today here at WCLU. Brought to you by South Central Bank. No matter the size, every...
Mom, are we at Parrish Carpet Store yet? Wow! Boring. Wow! Hey, let's go to the warehouse. Okay. Wow, look how tall that carpet is. Look how soft the carpet is.
Hey, boys, y'all come back to Parrish Carpet, okay?
Okay.
All right.
I'm sure glad we came to Parrish Carpet.
At PBI Bank, we pride ourselves on providing great customer service with a hometown feel. We invite you to come in and meet our friendly staff who can help you apply for a mortgage, apply for an ag loan, open an account, or help with any other banking service. Trust PBI Bank to be your banking partner for personal or business accounts. We are a Kentucky-based community bank serving the Commonwealth for more than a century. Stop in or visit online at pbibank.com to learn more.
We should stay under the influence of high pressure, and with high pressure in, sun will be out, temperatures will be up eventually, getting back to maybe the mid-70s. The average is still 87 for this time of year. A little crispy out there this morning. The sky's clear. Lots of 4s for the first number on the car thermometer. Go through the day with lots of sunshine around 70 degrees. Tonight, clear 48. Tomorrow, sunshine 76. Saturday, mostly sunny in the mid-70s. And on Sunday, more sun than clouds with highs in the mid-70s. Maybe sometime next week, some leftover moisture from Irma. We'll have to wait and see on the exact track of that storm after it goes inland. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic, a Weather Channel on WCLU, your home for local.
All right. It is 51 degrees now at WCLU there, Ray, and we appreciate all the update on information about Irma. And we'll be keeping you posted on all of that as we move through here. But here in South Central Kentucky, it's a nice day, 51 degrees. At WCLU, this weather update brought to you as a service of your friends at South Central Bank. It's 7:01. We got some pushing to do right here. Guys have a very, very special ceremony on Saturday leading up to the 9/11 commemoration. And Ernie Wagner, who is with us here in the studio this morning, who has been working really hard to get this event all lined up is by here to report to us that you got it lined up, Ernie.
Well, we got it lined up, Henry. I just jumped in here and surprised you
It's all right.
this
No,
morning.
I can take a surprise, you know.
But I always enjoy coming by. And
Yeah, I'm glad you
talking
come
with
by.
you. I'd like to talk to everybody about our 9/11 ride and ceremony that we're going to have coming this Saturday.
That's right.
It's marked 16 years since 9/11. And we will be meeting Saturday morning.
Yes, sir.
At the Glasgow Fire Department on Broadway.
Broadway Fire Department.
Yeah. Hold that toward me?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I can do that.
Wes wanted to get your face on the TV and on the
here.
yeah.
Okay. But anyway, we'll be meeting at the Glasgow Fire Department on Broadway at starting at 8 o'clock.
Okay.
Saturday morning.
All right.
The ride will kick off at 9:11.
Okay.
Exactly.
That should be easy enough to remember.
Yeah. And we're going to be taking a ride going up through Edmonton, up into Adair County, up into Casey County. We'll wind up at Lure Lodge at Lake Cumberland, have lunch there. And from there, we'll come on back down 27 and back through Burkesville and back to Glasgow.
Well, I tell you, no matter where you're going on Saturday, the way I'm reading it, I believe it's going to be a picturesque ride.
Oh, absolutely. We got some fantastic weather.
Yeah.
And I would like to also, wait a minute, was we holding the camera wrong there?
I think you were talking to the ceiling. I don't know.
There we go.
There you go.
Now I'm
no,
still
it's
sideways.
that's delayed. That's delayed.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now how's that?
Oh, okay. Now he's getting me turned around.
Yeah, there you are. There you are.
But anyway, it is going to be great weather. It's a great cause, and I just ask everybody, please never forget that day.
Oh gosh, yeah.
And also, we want to remember 2012 too. What happened in Benghazi?
Yeah.
We don't want to forget the lives that was lost there either.
Right.
Then on Monday, actual 9/11, we will be having a candlelight vigil.
Okay.
At the Glasgow Fire Department at the 9/11 Memorial.
And what a very impressive. If folks haven't seen that monument with that big hunk of steel from the World Trade Center and the words that have been inscribed there, you got to make that I guess a spark to get down there and see that.
Absolutely. And Henry, I'm really surprised a lot of people that I have talked to did not know that even existed there.
Well, we got to use this occasion to let a lot more people know about that.
Absolutely. And whether it's 9/11 or whatever day it is, go by and see that. And what a better time to come and see it is Monday.
9/11.
For that candlelight vigil we will be having.
Now, let's tell everybody again that the ride starts at 8, or the arrival at 8, the ride will start at 9:30.
9/11.
9/11. I'm sorry, 9/11. I'm sorry.
And by the way, let me add this too. People think that it's just for motorcycles.
Right.
It's not just for motorcycles.
What's it for?
It's for anybody and everybody.
Well, that's wonderful.
We don't want to exclude anybody that wants to get out and show their support. And I've been in contact with first responders from here to there that we're going to.
Yeah.
And how much they appreciate the fact that we're actually doing this and keeping this going.
That's so important, And our community has a good track record of remembering those that gave. And I applaud you and your organization for keeping the word out there and it fresh and top of mind.
Well, we appreciate that, but it's not about our group. It's it's about just being good Americans.
Yeah.
And try to do the right thing.
That's right. And I'll tell you, you are doing the right thing. So let me get back and do my times better this time. You can come by starting at 8 o'clock Saturday. The ride begins at 9:11. It's going to be a beautiful ride. And then on Monday, the candlelight vigil will begin at what time?
7:30.
7:30. Okay. Everybody just got to get it in their mind so they arrive on time at the right time.
Yes. And please come out for either one or the other or both.
Sure.
You know, of course, Monday being 9/11. You know, it would be nice if we could have a ride on 9/11.
Yeah.
But being on Monday, you know, people can't get off from work.
That's right. That's right.
Things to, as far as make that work. So.
Well, Ernie, I'm glad you came by, and we have information here. You know, we got the neat poster that you gave us, and we've got stuff on the Facebook, and we actually know how to tell people how to get in touch with you if we get down to the tough questions.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, if you want to reach out to me, you can always call me. My number is 270-404-3989. Or you can find me on Facebook. Yeah. And that's Ernie Wagner.
Yeah. Well, and spell Wagner, because I always have a difficulty with that.
Wagoner, just like Porter.
It's one G and one N, and I try to put two of one or the other every time.
It's been spelt many ways.
Just like Uncle Porter, huh?
Yeah, just like Uncle Porter. That's it.
And ain't Dolly.
Ain't Dolly.
All right, Ernie, thanks for stopping by today, and feel free to stop by anytime. It's just good. We want to be. We want to keep pushing on this.
Thank
and
you,
you don't.
I appreciate you and WCLU and everything y'all do to help promote what we do.
Well, thank you, Ernie. I appreciate that. It's going to be a nice event, well organized, and well worth the time.
Absolutely.
Thank you, sir.
You count on in the morning, not wanting to get up.
See American television icon Ed Asner live September 15th in A Man and His Prostate at the Plaza Theater. Ed Asner offers a frank and very funny take on men's health in A Man and His Prostate, September 15th. For tickets, visit historicplaza.com or call 270-361-2101.
Lesenberry Do-It Center is Glasgow's only locally owned hardware store, and that means a lot to me. Lesenberry's has been in business for over 100 years. I walk in the store, they know who I am, and I get the help that I need. For me, Lesenberry's is the easiest place for me to shop, simply because it's a local, family-owned business, and I feel comfortable when I'm there. And I'm glad there's still a place like that in Glasgow I can go to.
TJ Regional Health offers a vast array of medical services in our community.
Heading on the back. Where is my stack of notes right here? It's O'Neill Hattler Day on the radio, and here's why. Mr. O'Neill Hattler, a fine fella, is having a birthday tomorrow. But we got to be sure and give him a good pat on the back today. So if you happen to see Mr. O'Neill Hattler anywhere around town today, let's pat him on the back and let him know he's good as gold from WCLU and a little taste of Texas. And we're jumping right out of that into trivia today. You know, Extreme Fitness, Extreme Gymnastics, they do an extremely nice job out there. And we have a little card that gives you some options of things you can try or even try again. You liked it so much at Extreme. Here we go with the question, 651-9149 or 800-956-1023. Let's see who just might win something like a trip to Extreme today. And here we go. The question is as follows. When it comes to hurricane names, what is significant about the names Carol and Hazel? Okay? We got these hurricanes with names. When it comes to hurricane names, what is significant about the names Carol and Hazel? 651-9149, 800-956-1023. Hello, trivia.
They've been retired.
Say it again.
They've been retired.
All right. Well, you know what? I'm going to give it to you. Here's the thing. The real significance is they were the first hurricane names to be retired. First of all, who's this speaking?
Tim Coulter.
Okay, Tim, you're a trivia man, aren't you?
Yes, sir.
You like to get in there and win, which you did today. All right, I'm going to give you some more information here, Tim.
Okay.
Both of these were hurricanes that came through in 1954.
A little bit before my time.
Both Hurricane Carol and Hurricane Hazel occurred in 1954. Carol made landfall in the northeastern United States. Hazel struck the Antilles and the Carolinas. They were among the costliest and deadliest in U.S. history. And so here's the deal: the name of the hurricanes get retired because of significant damage and/or loss of life. Any hurricane that causes significant damage or loss of life may be considered for retirement upon the request of the countries affected. And once a name is retired, like a gender name, male for male or female for female, replaces it. And anyway, here's the thing: it has to be retired for I think it's 20 years. I can't see. I hope we don't run out of names for hurricanes. I hope we run out of hurricanes.
Yeah.
All right, here's some of the retirees here, Tim. Hurricane Betsy is retired, 1965. Agnes, Hugo.
Yeah, I remember Hugo.
Andrew,
92.
Hurricane Mitch.
I don't remember that one.
Mitch, I don't know where Mitch hit, but anyway, it was 1998.
Okay.
What are you saying? I believe it did. All right, Hurricane Mitch. We're done with trivia. Tim, you come by, we'll send you out to Extreme, okay?
Henry.
We might retire the name Tim before you know it. See you later.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, it's Tim Coulter. Hurricane Carol and Hazel, two names. The first two hurricanes whose names were retired after they came through and were very devastating in 1954. All right, trivia is coming up again tomorrow, and thanks to Extreme for giving us something enjoyable to do each and every day.
CBS News Updates. Hurricane Irma winds at 180 miles an hour now, moving steadily to the north and west with a long-term eye on Florida. CBS's Meg Oliver.
Here in Miami, mandatory evacuations are underway for high-risk areas along the coast. For everyone else, it's being strongly suggested to get out of Irma's way as quickly as possible.
With demand high, finding a place to stay isn't always easy.
My parents live on the Tampa side of Florida, and everything over there is sold out, and everything upwards north of Jacksonville is getting sold out too.
Irma on track to slam the Dominican Republic and Haiti today, the Bahamas tonight. Last night, the storm brushed past Puerto Rico, cutting power to nearly a million people. San Juan Mayor Carmen Yulín Cruz.
What we are seeing right now is a very difficult situation in terms of the power infrastructure.
Death toll from Irma so far, 10. CBS News Update. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
Why do I choose ISU?
TJ Regional Health offers a vast array of medical services. The TJ Health Pavilion is home to and the TJ Pavilion Pharmacy. The TJ Health Cave City Clinic is a walk-in medical care facility providing care 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Stop by and visit one of our locations today.
Glasgow Prescription Center is the culmination of my husband's professional career. When he took over GPC, he didn't want to be just good. He'd already done that. He wanted to be great. And I think his patients would agree that he's done just that. Could he get by with a smaller staff? Sure. The gift shop, the flower shop, delivery people, a brand new facility, none of those things are required to have a pharmacy, but that's why it's not just a good pharmacy, it's a great one. I'm really excited to see what Robert is going to do next because I know he's going to put his heart into it.
A hometown experience with honest people, a novel idea, not at Bailey Gibson. We understand you work hard for your money and deserve the best when shopping for a vehicle. Times are tough and buying a vehicle is a big decision. Dad prides himself in having honest employees who will help in any way they can, before and after your purchase. At Bailey Gibson, we pledge to give you a hometown experience with honest people. Now that's an idea you can bank on.
Do you drop your change in the bottom of your purse? Did you know that loose change could help someone struggling to pay their electric bill? The Glasgow EPB has partnered with Community Relief for a new roundup program. By agreeing to have your EPB bill rounded to the next highest dollar, the change will be provided to Community Relief to help the less fortunate here in our community. Your spare pennies can make a huge difference for those struggling to pay for their vital electricity. If you're interested in the program, please call the Glasgow EPB at 651-8341.
Mom, are we at Parish Carpet Store yet? Wow! Boring. Wow! Hey, let's go to the warehouse. Okay. Wow, look how tall that carpet is. Look how soft the carpet is.
Hey, boys, y'all come back to Parish Carpet, okay?
Okay.
All right.
I'm sure glad we came to Parish Carpet.
Personal service is what it's all about at Bailey Gibson. From the showroom to the service bay, we offer the most up-to-date service and sales available. If you know Dad, you know he's not too keen on high-tech gadgets. His flip phone is about as techy as he gets. Because of Dad's down-to-earth approach in business, Bailey Gibson customers know they can depend on us for the best price on their newer used vehicle. Stop by or give us a call and find out what true personal service is all about.
Come on, give my Danny a call.
At Fire Pit Spirits, our #1 priority is responsibility. Number 2 and number 3.
This is WCLU Glasgow, WCLU FM Munfordville, W253BN Glasgow. Services of Royce Radio Incorporated.
51 degrees, 719 at WCLU as we get our start. We're moving into the 7 o'clock morning edition. We'll check in with Ray Stage in just a couple of minutes and take care of the weather forecast for the next couple of days. But now the newsroom with the 7 o'clock morning edition. News Director Angela Briggs. Good morning, Angela.
Good morning, Henry. A former Hart County deputy clerk has been indicted after an internal audit. Hart County Clerk Lisa Hensley Sanders discovered thefts of cash from multiple customers by former employee 28-year-old Chelsea Trulock of Munfordville. Sanders then reported the thefts to the Hart County Sheriff's Office, and that case was sent on to the Hart County Grand Jury. Trulock will face 2 counts, theft by unlawful taking and abuse of a public trust. Both counts over $10,000, but less than $100,000. Sheriff Boston Hensley served Trulock with the indictment warrant yesterday, and she is currently lodged in the Hart County Jail. State police are asking for your help in locating a sex offender. Michael R. Weaver is described as a white male, 6'3", with brown hair and brown eyes. He's wanted for numerous outstanding warrants, according to state police, stemming from an investigation in Allen County, including charges of distribution of matter portraying a sex performance by a minor and possessing this same type of matter, as well as persistent felony offender. State police say anyone with any information regarding the whereabouts of Michael R. Weaver, please contact Detective Graham Rutherford with State Police at 270-782-2010. You can go online to WCLUradio.com to see a picture of Michael Weaver. A recent session of the Barron County Grand Jury's returned to several indictments. Corporal Javen McGuire with Glasgow Police testified in the case against 37-year-old Jason Polo Eugene Slater, age 37, of Glasgow. Slater was indicted on 9 counts: disorderly conduct, possession of marijuana, illegal possession of a legend drug, possession of a controlled substance, 3rd degree, trafficking marijuana, trafficking in a controlled substance, possession of a controlled substance, drug paraphernalia, and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. Slater was allowed to remain on a current bond. 28-year-old Parker Curtis Pettit of Tompkinsville was indicted on 1 count of possession of a controlled substance. 41-year-old Dwight David Wright of Canmore was indicted on 3 counts: persistent felony offender, careless driving, and trafficking in synthetic drugs. Glasgow police officer Zane Greer testified. 23-year-old Cody Spencer of Glasgow was indicted on 3 counts: burglary 3rd, possession of burglar's tools, and theft by unlawful taking. 41-year-old Jason Fields of Glasgow was indicted on 5 counts: persistent felony offender, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, theft by unlawful taking, a firearm, theft by unlawful taking $10,000 or more but under $1 million, and burglary second degree. Captain Jennifer Arbogast testified in the case. Remember, an indictment is an accusation only, and all individuals should be considered as innocent until and unless proven guilty in a court of law. And a loud noise complaint leads to a drug arrest. Cave City Police Chief Terrell Riley arrested 36-year-old William Jason Doyle of Cave City, 32-year-old Jeremy Marr of Scottsville Wednesday morning. Chief Riley had received a loud noise complaint that the noise was coming from a garage on Grinstead Mill Road. After making contact with the owner and a brief investigation, Doyle was arrested, charged with possession of methamphetamine and drug paraphernalia. Marr will face the same charges as long as one count of possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. Both were lodged in Barron County Detention Center. And here is Ernie Myers from the Glasgow Barron County Chamber of Commerce.
Well, this morning, the Glasgow Barron County Chamber of Commerce has a ribbon cutting celebrating a new business in Glasgow. The ribbon cutting is going to be held at 131B North Public Square, celebrating the new business, Visibly You. If you don't know who that is, that's Erica Spillman, who is opening up her marketing company right there on North Public Square in Glasgow. Now, 131B is directly above Brian Pack's law office. The entrance to that is a doorway between Brian's office, the pawn shop. We hope you all can make it out this morning, 10:30 a.m. to celebrate ribbon cutting at Visibly You, 131B North Public Square. That's what's going on today at the Glasgow Barron County Chamber of Commerce, where we're working together building a better community.
7:23 a.m., 51 degrees. More local news right after this.
At Fire Pit Spirits, our number one priority is responsibility. Number 2 and number 3 are our great service and our huge selection. So if you do drink alcohol, we want you to do so responsibly. Get the service you deserve in our store or in our convenient drive-thru window. You can even call ahead at 678-BEER and we'll have it ready for you. We built our store from the ground up to ensure the largest selection and variety. But if we don't have what you're looking for, let us know. We appreciate your business here at Fire Pit Spirits in Glasgow.
Lesenberry Do-It Center is Glasgow's only locally owned hardware store, and that means a lot to me. Lesenberry's has been in business for over 100 years. I walk in the store, they know who I am, and I get the help that I need. For me, Lesenberry's is the easiest place for me to shop, simply because it's a local family-owned business, and I feel comfortable when I'm there. And I'm glad there's still a place like that in Glasgow I can go to.
Well, I love it. I know, right? I saw it and I was just like, oh, I have to have it.
Is it suede?
Suede. Love suede.
State Farm knows that for every one of those moments, there's one of these.
Well, I love it. I know, right? I saw it and I was like, have to have it. Is it suede? It's suede. I love suede.
That's why we're there with renter's insurance when things go wrong, but also here with a rewards credit card to help life go right. State Farm.
Talk to State Farm agent Mike Bryant in Glasgow today.
At PBI Bank, we pride ourselves on providing great customer service with a hometown feel. We invite you to come in and meet our friendly staff who can help you apply for a mortgage, apply for an ag loan, open an account, or help with any other banking service. Trust PBI Bank to be your banking partner for personal or business accounts. Come visit or call us today. We are a Kentucky-based community bank serving the Commonwealth for more than a century. Stop in or visit online at pbibank.com to learn more about what we can offer you.
In more local news, coming up tomorrow, the Glasgow Career Center is involved in a special opportunity at the Boys and Girls Club. Here's the Career Center's Sonia Furrow.
The Housing Authority of Glasgow, in partnership with the Kentucky Career Center, will be hosting a career fair Friday, September the 8th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Should be at least 40 employers and higher education institutions from the area at the career fair. Please come dressed to impress. For more information, you can contact Wade or Jennifer at 270-651-3859. The career fair will be hosted at 100 Cheatham Street, Glasgow, Kentucky, at the Hero Center.
Inside of Mammoth Cave National Park, Vicki Carson with the park says the Green River is open to use again. The park had closed the river last week in anticipation of heavy rains from Hurricane Harvey. The park received nearly 8 inches of rain in a 36-hour period, and the river rose as high as 25 feet. As the river fell, some slumping occurred and few trees fell. Park staff cleared the trees that had blocked the river. Ranger staff patrolled Green River yesterday, boundary to boundary, and found it to be in good condition. Carson says that Nolin River within Mammoth Cave National Park does remain closed. And the latest, the doctor says a Kentucky abortion clinic is safe. The operator of Kentucky's last abortion clinic has testified at a trial that could determine whether his Louisville facility stays open. Dr. Ernest Marshall opened EMW Women's Surgical Center in the early 1980s. He testified Wednesday that his clinic is safe and offers quality care. The clinic is embroiled in a licensing fight with Republican Governor Matt Bevin's administration. Marshall says the transfer agreements at the center of his legal fight weren't much of an issue until the last couple of years. The clinic has been on the defensive since Bevin's election back in 2015. The socially conservative governor told a radio station Wednesday that abortion is a sad commentary on us as a society. After a close and combative presidential election, a polarized America has battled over everything from health care to border walls to monuments. The newly elected chair of the grassroots organization Kentuckians for the Commonwealth, Meta Mendel-Reyes, says the divisive atmosphere in the state and nation has energized community activism.
It's a time when people at the grassroots need to recover their voices, and organizing is one way to do that. It's clearly developed in response to the historical moment that we're in, but I think it has the potential for incredible staying power.
To facilitate increased involvement, KFTC is launching the Organizing Academy, training over 6 months for those interested in grassroots leadership. Applications for the Academy are being accepted through October 13th, and the training will start in January. For more information, you can go online to www.kftc.org. With WCLU Local News, I'm Angela Briggs. It's 7:29 a.m., 51 degrees.
TJ Regional Health offers a vast array of medical services in our community. The TJ Health Pavilion is home to over 35 family and specialty physicians, outpatient services center, the TJ Urgent Care, and the TJ Pavilion Pharmacy. The TJ Health Cave City Clinic is a walk-in medical care facility providing care 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Stop by and visit one of our locations today.
You can. iPay allows you to draft money into your electric account online or at our office. The myusage.com website lets you keep track of how much electricity you're using and lets you know your current balance. When your account's getting low, you can get reminders to add more money to your electric account by text or email. With iPay, there's no due date, no late fees. Sign up for iPay at the EPB office at 100 Mallory Drive.
Your hometown healing begin.
It's been another great week to be a Scotty. The PSAT will be giving on October 11th. Freshmen, sophomores, and juniors are encouraged to sign up. Registration will be open until September 20th, and the cost is $16. Miss Martin will be in the cafeteria each morning before school to register those wishing to participate. Applications for the 2017-2018 Student Ambassadors are now available. The application must be completely finished, including a letter of recommendation from a teacher. To begin the interview process, pick up an application from Miss Martin, Miss Bunch, or Mr. Smith. Completed applications are due no later than Friday, September 15th. Any DECA member interested in attending the Frankfurt workshop needs to see Mr. Gibson for paperwork. The payment and forms are due this Friday morning by 8 o'clock. Any student interested in joining Pep Club or Beta Club can pick up an application from Ms. Bowles. Completed applications and fees are due on Friday, September 8th. In sports news, last Thursday, the boys soccer team defeated Barron County 2-0. On Tuesday, they defeated Franklin Simpson 6-2. Way to go, Scotties. And congratulations to the football team on their 41-3 victory over Fort Campbell. The Scotties will visit Allen County this Friday night with kickoff starting at 7. Good luck, Scotties. This has been McKay Bowles for this week's Scotty Report. Shine on, Scotties, and stay true to the blue.
From the Kentucky News Network, I'm Ed Huckleberry. Retirements in one of the state's largest pension systems jumps 37% in September as lawmakers consider some potentially dramatic changes to prevent its insolvency. The Kentucky retirement system says 746 people retired as of September 1st. That's up from 543 the same time a year ago. The retirements include state workers, police officers, firefighters, and other government workers. The retirements come on the heels of recommendations made by the PFM Group. It was paid by the state to come up with suggestions on how to address the shortfall. Some recommendations were extreme, and Governor Bevin says those recommendations are not the final say.
They don't live here. They don't make the decision. They don't vote on this. They're not related to anyone who's retired. Their grandmother didn't retire.
Bevin says he and legislative leaders will weigh all the options before making any decisions. Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield says it will not sell health insurance plans statewide, leaving just one insurance provider for each county on Kentucky's statewide exchange. Anthem has been the only insurance carrier to sell plans in all 120 counties on that exchange. On Wednesday, state officials announced that Anthem would sell plans in 59 counties, while CareSource would sell plans in 61. 2 people are dead following a collision with a train overnight in Clark County. The crash occurred near Winchester. A man and a woman from Fayette County died in the crash. Their names have not been released. And the Kentucky Horse Park is opening its doors to horses being moved as a result of Hurricane Irma. The park says it's making 200 stalls available on a first-come, first-served basis until September 17th. I'm Ed Huckleberry.
This is the Kentucky News Network.
See American television icon Ed Asner live September 15th in A Man and His Prostate at the Plaza Theater. Ed Asner offers a frank and very funny take on men's health in A Man and His Prostate, September 15th. For tickets, visit historicplaza.com or call 270-361-2101.
BR Tire. We're always on call and we answer the call. We know that's what keeps our loyal customers coming back season after season, year after year. With so many vying for your business, improving our service is not just a good practice, it's a necessity. From our easy-to-navigate website to our easy-to-deal-with service department, we work hard to make it easy for you to choose us. No one keeps you rolling like BR Tire on Lovers Lane in Bowling Green and West Main Street in Glasgow.
Let's turn to local sports. WKU Hilltopper basketball legend Jim McDaniels, one of the finest players to ever represent the historic program, passed away last night in Bowling Green. He was 69 years of age. McDaniels, a 7-foot center from Scottsville, finished his WKU career with 2,238 points, which ties for the all-time program record. McDaniels, who ranks first in WKU history in career field goals at 935, career scoring average at 27.6 points per game, and double-doubles at 74, second in rebounding average with 13.1 per game. Quote, McDaniels was a legendary, iconic figure in the annals of Western Kentucky basketball, according to WKU Athletics Director Todd Stewart. He said his Hall of Fame accomplishments resulted in the most successful period in our program's rich history and favorably impacted at the Hilltopper Nation and college basketball fans throughout the nation. Now, arrangements for Jim McDaniel are incomplete at this hour. And that's a check of local sports.
You love all-day breakfast.
I love all-day breakfast.
But you didn't love that you couldn't get all your favorites all day. But now you love that you can get more all day, like
McGriddles.
So you'll have to find something else to not love, like that itch you can't scratch. Or when people use speakerphone in public.
Seriously, you can't tell a soul.
I promise I won't tell anyone.
For real, okay?
Or accidentally watching episode 4 before you've seen episode 3.
When did DeAndre become an alien?
Get more choices you love, now with all-day breakfast.
Glasgow Prescription Center is the culmination.
Well, the next thing we need to do is to talk about the weather. It seems to be very topical these days, locally and during the hurricane season for sure, as we learn more and more about Irma. But right now, Ray Stajic is going to tell us that we're going to enjoy several days of nice weather.
We should stay under the influence of high pressure, and with high pressure in, sun will be out, temperatures will be up, eventually getting back to maybe the mid-70s. The average is still 87 for this time of year. A little crispy out there this morning. The sky's clear. Lots of 4s for the first number on the car thermometer. Go through the day with lots of sunshine around 70 degrees. Tonight, clear 48. Tomorrow, sunshine 76. Saturday, mostly sunny in the mid-70s. And on Sunday, more sun than clouds with highs in the mid-70s. Maybe sometime next week, some leftover moisture from Irma. We'll have to wait and see on the exact track of that storm after it goes inland. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic, a Weather Channel on WCLU, your home for local.
Thank you, Ray. 51 degrees, WCLU 737.
Hey, Eddie, I want to show you this gold that I found. What can you do with this?
Well, let me see, Kelly.
Whoa. You're the Magic Man.
Not to be confused with Magic Mike.
Okay, all right, let's try this again. Here's some silver.
Watch this.
Seriously? How do you do that? You keep turning everything into cash.
Well, I'm the Magic Man. Not to be confused with Magic Mike.
Okay, I'm still in disbelief. One more time. I cleaned out my jewelry box. I found all of this old jewelry that I'm never going to wear again. Let's just see if your magic works on this.
Told you. I'm the Magic Man, Kelly.
I know. Not to be confused with Magic Mike.
Glasgow Coin and Jewelry is the place to go to turn your gold, silver, coins, or jewelry into cash. Go see Eddie, the Magic Man, located on North Public Square, downtown Glasgow, or call 834-1441. That's 834-1441.
Glasgow Prescription Center is the culmination of my husband's professional career. When he took over GPC, he didn't want to be just good. He'd already done that. He wanted to be great. And I think his patients would agree that he's done just that. Could he get by with a smaller staff? Sure. The gift shop, the flower shop, delivery people, a brand new facility, none of those things are required to have a pharmacy, but that's why it's not just a good pharmacy, it's a great one. I'm really excited to see what Robert is going to do next because I know he's going to put his heart into it.
At Fire Pit Spirits, our #1 priority is responsibility. Number 2 and number 3 are our great service and our huge selection. So if you do drink alcohol, we want you to do so responsibly. Get the service you deserve in our store or in our convenient drive-thru window. You can even call ahead at 678-BEER and we'll have it ready for you. We built our store from the ground up to ensure the largest selection and variety. But if we don't have what you're looking for, let us know. We appreciate your business here at Fire Pit Spirits in Glasgow.
Mom, are we at Parish Carpet Store yet? Wow! Boring. Wow! Hey, let's go to the warehouse. Okay. Wow, look how tall that carpet is. Look how soft the carpet is.
Hey, boys, y'all come back to Parish Carpet, okay?
Okay.
All right.
I'm sure glad we came to Parish Carpet.
Field trip or church group, get your Ralphie on.
Yeah, and when we talk about Ralphie's, you know what we're talking about. We're talking about birthdays. Because Ralphie's knows how to put on a birthday party. Let me get the little jingle going right here so I can bring you up to date on the birthdays today. For example, Julius Shirley is 21 today. Brenda Mills celebrates. It's Candice Ferreira. Candice is sweet 16 today. Congratulations. Hoot Gibson over in Park City. Mr. Hoot is having a birthday. Shanda Marr. Shanda's 42. Christopher Whitfield. Dr. Spencer Witcher. Annie Hamilton Shirley has a birthday today. Anniversaries, we've got Bobby and Inez McCandless, John and Jackie Taylor, J.B. and Emily Logston. We understand from their daughter that this is the Logstons' 54th wedding anniversary today. A big congratulations. And don't forget, we're patting O'Neill Hattler on the back today. Mr. O'Neill has a birthday tomorrow. We got to pat him on the back today, though, and be sure to let him know he's good as gold. From WCLU and a little taste of Texas. 741 at WCLU. Good morning. And don't forget to thank Ralphie's Fun Center for sponsoring the birthdays.
Good morning, friends. Someone said that success for the Christian was to act like Christ without having to think about it. Assuming that to be true, what would it look like to make decisions that show forth the glory of Jesus in our lives? Perhaps the first would be to always act in love towards all. Jesus showed love for all, even those who chose not to follow him. The young ruler of Mark 10 chose material possessions over Jesus, and yet verse 21 says Jesus loved him. Jesus stated at John 13:35 that the way people would know that we were his disciples would be the fact that we showed love to others. If we're serious about being like Jesus, then we must learn and practice this. Another way of being like Christ is making the decision to be humble in our actions and attitudes. How could God in heaven come to earth, put on flesh, suffer for sins he did not commit, and then die for the ungodly? The answer is love and humility. As humans, we need to follow his lead in this area of attitude. It's easy, especially for those in the areas of leadership, to become victims of their own ideas of self-importance. If we're serious about bearing the image of Christ, then we will stop making excuses for ugly ambition, petty pride, and sinful self-centeredness. Instead, we must show compassion for others as they shoulder the burdens of life. If we preach Jesus and claim discipleship, then people have a right to see it being practiced. This is Danny Wyatt for the Refuge Church of Christ.
Back in 1978, Bobby Wilson started Wilson's Cabinet Shop in Glasgow. Also there from day one was a very young craftsman, Bobby's son, Wayne Wilson. Since that first day, Wayne has worked with his father, designing, building, and installing custom cabinetry in homes and businesses all over southern Kentucky. With Bobby's recent passing, Wayne and his wife Joy are proud to continue the Wilson cabinet reputation. As the only licensed and insured custom cabinet shop in Glasgow, that's a responsibility they can handle. Custom cabinets, countertops, new cabinet doors, you name it, we can handle it. Call Wayne or Joy at 270-651-7271. We want to hear your ideas and make them a reality in your home. Wilson's Custom Cabinet Shop, Columbia Avenue at New Salem Road in Glasgow. 744 at WCLU. I got to tell you about Zach Poor. Zach Poor has a birthday today. We want to get those on there just as efficiently as we possibly can. And, it's a horse race a lot of days here, for sure.
From the north, south, east, west, NEWS, here's the latest news.
Including today. Would you say, Wes?
Horse race, or I don't know, something like that. More like 52-card pickup, I think.
All right, okay. Well, we'll do it that way. Hey, I got a couple of, actually, tidbits are going to be kind of a little bit squirrely because there's a couple of sad stories I have to share first because of just because of the fact they're pretty sad.
Well, that's all right.
All right, Dateline, Nashville, Tennessee, country singer Jo Dee Messina has cancer. And she says because of that, she's going to postpone her 2017 show dates after October the 7th. Messina made the announcement on her website. She didn't say what kind of cancer she had, but she says she is working closely with a medical team to explore all the options in her treatment. Messina had a string of hits in the late 90s from her sophomore record, I'm All Right. She's also the first female country artist to score 3 multiple #1 hits from the same album. Heads, Carolina, Tails, California. Remember that?
Oh, yeah. Well, we went and saw her at the Opry.
Yeah.
And, of course, she's been to the Plaza several times.
Yeah, and but it's and they're very, very talented. But this one's going to be throwing her a curveball for a little bit. But we got to certainly send good vibes to Jo Dee Messina.
You know, when I was young in high school and listening to music and stuff, and you like to keep tabs on what I was listening to, and you'd say, well, that's a good radio song.
Yeah.
And you never did really explain what that meant, but I knew what you meant.
Yeah, so,
her voice was a great radio voice.
It was.
Something about something about it just kind of hit you a little bit sharper through the speakers.
Yeah, I have to get out. I've got a few Jo Dee Messina CDs. I have to get some of those out just to try to send some good vibes there.
Well, I hope it all works out for her.
Dateline still in Nashville. There's going to be a slightly different vibe to this year's CMT Artist of the Year event. The group says that this year the show is going to be highlighting efforts being made to recover from Hurricane Harvey. As far as the music side of things goes, October the 18th, they will honor Chris Stapleton, the Florida-Georgia Line, Jason Aldean, Keith Urban, and Luke Bryan.
3 of those are some of my favorites.
Yeah, well, it's certainly they're picking.
I mean, they take up the bulk of my playlist.
Yeah, well, they're trying to. They're smart because they're going to build the audience by saying who they're going to honor.
Yes, and also I think it's good that they're bringing the focus to our fellow Americans in Texas because hey, a lot of people reached out and helped out Nashville when they had a flood.
No question about it.
And that hadn't been too long ago. And if you help those people in Texas, who knows, what'll happen in Kentucky? We're going to need help.
It's not. Sometimes you just can't predict.
You just don't know.
And while we're talking about that, even as big-name stars are being assembled for a telethon to help those affected by Hurricane Harvey, the organizers of the event next week say they're also going to be keeping an eye out for a need for another telethon to help the victims of Hurricane Irma. Organizers are watching the storm, which is rated as having even more destructive power than Harvey. The Harvey telethon is going to be set for next Tuesday. So where are we going to be by then?
Let's just hope it's not awful. We know it's going to be bad, but
bad but not awful.
We know the physical damage to the buildings are going to be bad, but if we can just not have any fatalities, that would be great.
And finally, this story, which only caught my eye because of the headline. The refugee doctors are learning to speak Glaswegian.
All right.
So here's the thing.
About time.
Most people think that, that why do you say that? It's Glasgowans. Well, I'm just glad that a story about Scotland will verify that the word is Glaswegian.
Sure.
And I'll give you a little bit of information. Doctors who have traveled to Scotland as refugees are being given the chance to start working for the NHS through a training scheme. The BBC says the program has been set up to meet those involved. Quote, when people say I had a couple of beers, they don't mean two, jokes the instructor, Dr. Patrick Grant, a retired A&E doctor training refugees to work for NHS, including how to overcome cultural barriers. One of his students is Fatima, who previously worked as a surgeon in the Middle East until she was forced to flee. Having treated anti-government protesters in her home country, she herself had become a government target. Quote, I wish one day this country would be proud of me, she says. Anyway, she's one of 38 refugees and asylum seekers on the course involved in a program based in Glasgow, Scotland. It provides the doctors with advanced English lessons, medical classes, and placements with GPS or hospitals. The aim is to give the refugee doctors who commit to working for the NHS the skills to get everybody approved. Now, Fatima says coming to the UK and not being able to work as a surgeon had felt like being handcuffed. I'm a qualified medical doctor. It's hard to start again from zero. But the big thing is you have to understand the language. And apparently, Glaswegian is different than English.
Yeah. You've been to the Highland Games.
Oh, yeah.
Those people come over, and it's like a 4 or 5 second delay before you actually process what they said to be able to understand it.
Yes.
So if you're learning English in Scotland, I still may not be able to understand you.
Yeah, that's true. Language classes are an important part of the course. Now, let's see here. Another doctor says he was confused by a patient who said that he had a headache because of a swally.
What's a swally?
It's a Scottish term for an alcoholic drink. Anyway,
it's just dehydration.
Well, I guess that's right. Anyway, a swally. And then they also have another class in situational judgment, trying to figure out the symptoms and all that sort of stuff. But anyway,
I'm still curious about the surgeon named Fatima.
Fatima.
Can you imagine telling your friends if you broke your leg and say, Fatima, fix my femur?
That's right. Well, Well, I'm thinking about some old Ray Stevens songs about,
yeah,
that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's Tidbit News. Who knows what we're going to stumble upon each and every day. But some of it's sad, some of it's funny, some of it's,
Well, I hope everybody that can give at that telethon will.
Yeah.
And that'll be a good show. I mean, you can't beat Chris Stapleton, and I really that's kind of like my guilty pleasure band is Florida Georgia Line,
Yeah.
I love their stuff.
Well, we'll hope for big numbers.
All right.
And we'll do Tidbit News tomorrow.
Hi, my name is Kaylee. My Nana and Papa own Quick Stop Shoe Store, 519 Happy Valley Road. Women's sandals such as Crocs, Chinook, Bionics. We now have Skechers and Chacos. We also have kids, Crocs, Chinook, and Chacos. Don't forget we have a large selection of work and muck boots. We also have Justin and Nakona wallets. Don't forget we have new styles of Skechers sandals and Chacos for women and kids. So come on down to the Quick Stop Shoe Store and check us out.
At PBI Bank, we pride ourselves on providing great customer service with a hometown feel. We invite you to come in and meet our friendly staff who can help you apply for a mortgage, apply for an ag loan, open an account, or help with any other banking service. Trust PBI Bank to be your banking partner for personal or business accounts. Come visit or call us today. We are a Kentucky-based community bank serving the Commonwealth for more than a century. Stop in or visit online at pbibank.com to learn more about what we can offer you.
753 WCLU. Here's a guy that knows how to speak Glaswegian. It is Bobby Lee Hurt of Hurt Auto Sales on the air with us. Hey, Bobby Lee, how you doing?
Doing well this morning, Henry. I was listening to a tidbit there. I've heard a lot of that Glaswegian, but it is kind of hard to understand on the beginning.
Yeah, and of course you've been to Glasgow, Scotland.
I have, and it's a good place to visit, and lots of good things to do over there. And but it is a little tough to understand them.
Just understand what they're saying. Another thing about it is...
They're not from Wayne County.
That's right. They can't understand Monticello either, can they?
That's right.
Yeah. Well, but one thing is they don't have, in Scotland, they don't have a Glaswegian version of a Hurt Auto Sales, do they?
They sure don't. I didn't see one the entire time I was there. That's for sure.
They don't want to try to compete with you because you got it licked.
That's right. We just got in some new stuff too, Henry.
Let's hear about it, Bobby Lee.
We got a '66 Chevy Chevelle.
Now say that again.
A 1966 Chevelle. Okay.
There's a bunch of baby boomers who just turned up the radio.
That's right. It's a collector's item, a classic car.
Mm-hmm.
It takes you back to the good old days.
Yeah.
So, and it's in really nice shape. Looks good. Make you feel proud driving it down the road. And we've got it priced, Henry, for $19,900.
$19,900 for the whole car.
For the whole car, it probably costs $3,500 brand new.
Yeah.
So I guess you could say it's an investment. It keeps going up.
Yeah, it does. And well, here's the other thing too: is that you one thing you can't use to try to sell this car is gas mileage.
No, you can't. You gotta want to drive it and not care about the gas mileage. That's for sure.
Yeah, so you just don't ask.
It's got a brand new engine in it, so you come on up and check it out, and we'll send you home in a classic car.
That
today.
sounds to me like something that somebody ought to jump right on.
That's right. We've only had it about one day on the lot. It's getting a lot of attention. That's for sure.
66 Chevelle. Don't be left out.
That's
Okay,
right.
what else are we going to see when we get up there, Bobby Lee?
Switching gears, got an 08 Honda Accord, a little four-door sedan.
Uh-huh.
And it's a super nice vehicle as well, and we've got it priced today for $8,900.
Son, that's a great price.
It most certainly is. Got a 2013 Chevy Equinox, one owner, local trade, a super nice SUV, and it's priced for just $12,900.
You know, those Equinoxes they have a lot of, they're very popular, but for a good reason. They're quite a nice vehicle to own and drive, and whether you're going by yourself or taking the family.
That's right. As far as gas mileage, you're going to get an excellent gas mileage as well.
You're going to beat that Chevelle all to pieces.
Yeah, that's right.
On gas mileage, at least.
You won't be as classy, but
no, that's right. That's
you
right.
won't get as many eyes looking at you.
Hey, you've earned it.
That's right. Got an 07 Suburban, a Chevy Suburban. Got brand new tires on it, third row seat.
Yeah.
2-wheel drive, and it's got lots of room and an excellent vehicle. It's priced for just $13,900. Okay?
What color is that one, Bobby?
It's kind of a gold. I guess a gold color. You know?
Yeah, gold. That sounds like a good color for it.
It's got a gold tint, I guess you'd say.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
But, stop in and drive it. Looks brand new inside and out, and you'll love it.
You might have trouble choosing between the one you like best up there at Hurt Auto Sales.
That's correct. We'll find some. If we don't have it, we'll find it for you. And, do our best to send you home in a brand new used vehicle. Okay.
Well, I'm tickled to death that you shared. You had a nice variety there with the Suburban and the Chevelle and some of the the Equinox. That just kind of paints the picture of the way that Hurt Auto Sales is set up for. It just doesn't depend on what you're looking for. You're going to find it or begin the process of finding it with a stop at Hurt Auto Sales on West Main Street, where they do speak Glaswegian, you know. Even if you're having a little trouble understanding them, they'll take the time with you.
That's right. That's right. We'll do our best, and we'll understand you. And you might have to repeat it a couple of times, but we'll go for it. Okay?
And they got a motto up there that they adhere to at Hurt Auto Sales.
And that is no pain when you trade with Hurt.
Thank you, Bobby Lee. Have a good day, sir.
And you also. Thank you, Henry.
7:58 WCLU. Let's check out the forecast one more time. McDonald's says, yeah.
Your Glasgow and Munfordville McDonald's is now hiring. Starting crew up to $9.25 an hour. You can apply at mcdonalds.com/careers or text apply to 36453. McDonald's has added some new benefits too. $100 bonus after 100 days employed and $100 referral bonus. Other great benefits include college tuition assistance, flexible schedule, and 401k. Apply today at mcdonalds.com/careers or text apply to 36453.
On a good run now of beautiful weather, high pressure, large and in charge. No rain in the forecast until maybe Tuesday, Wednesday of next week, and that could be